Oh, you're telling me that I'm not pretty enough without makeup?
I didn't say any of that.
I heard what you said.
I said there's a bright light. That's what I said.
You're fun. All summer long, we spent our weekends taking our camper out camping in the different Minnesota state parks. And now this is the very last weekend of September. Yeah. It feels different this time around. It doesn't feel like as much of a vacation or a getaway as it usually does. But as you can see, it's actually fairly crowded here at the end of September at Sibley State Park. And we're gonna have a great weekend. The sun is starting to go down and it is getting chilly. It is supposed to be 32 degrees here tonight. So I'm really glad that we have the camper with a furnace. We brought some extra down quilts. We are gonna stay nice and cozy tonight. And oh my gosh, 40 degrees, this is really cold. Hurry up, kid. Hurry up.
All right, hill number 2. No problem. Piece of cake.
All right, so every single time we talk about signs and whether there are good signs or bad signs in whatever state park we happen to be in.
And even no signs.
Yes.
We've had no signs.
Or the signs and the map don't match up with what is actually on the ground. That does happen sometimes.
It does.
However, I think this is the best I have ever seen in any state park.
Yeah, these signs are amazing. It's not just a piece of paper in a wood with glass. These are actually printed on aluminum.
Yeah, it's laminated. It looks recent. It's not 20, 30 years old and rusted. But the super awesome thing about this is you guys have to see this. Not only are all of the trails really well marked, but every single intersection where the trails meet each other is labeled. It's craziness. So right now we are at trail intersection L.
Letter L.
There's an L right here that matches up with the L on the map. That matches up with where we actually appear to be on the trail.
That's what I was gonna say. There's 2 trails on the map. There's 2 trails right here.
Incredible.
Yes.
Actually, there are 3 though, because there's the one in front of us that we just came from, and then it splits. So yeah.
I can never do anything right.
Interestingly, when I have the baby in the backpack, it is much easier for me to go up hills than to go down. So when I am in a position where I'm going down a hill, I definitely have to be a lot more careful about where I'm putting my feet. It's pretty easy for me to go up the hills, but when I go down, if I'm not careful, I could slip, and that's the last thing I want to do when I've got a baby on my body. I love hiking in the fall. Hiking in the summer is great, wonderful, don't get me wrong, I do enjoy it, but my absolute favorite is hiking in the fall for a couple of reasons. One, it is gorgeous when the leaves are starting to turn, but also I really enjoy the fresh, crisp, cool air. It's not quite as humid. It just feels so nice to be outside in the fall. It's one of my favorite things to do. We made it! Behind me there is the hiking club password. I tried to stop and get some video of it, but Mr. I don't want to take a nap was not very happy about stopping. So I guess I'll just keep walking.
Well, we made it to the hiking club sign. Anne and Thor have gone on ahead because Thor is a little bit cranky every time Anne stops. Uh-oh, and I'm not controlling my gimbal right. And yes, I'm hiding the password from you. You have to come out here and find it yourself.
It is fascinating to me how we're at the end of September right now, and there are some areas that we are walking through where it is completely green and just one or two leaves have changed. We just walked through a depression at the bottom of these glacial hills, and there were almost no leaves left on the trees right there. And here, it's probably pretty close to peak color. It's interesting to me how the microgeography of a place can affect the foliage so much. You know, sometimes I wonder, does everybody else feel the same way about where they live as I do about where I live? I feel so lucky to have been born and raised and lived most of my adult life in Minnesota. It is beautiful here. There are so many lovely natural resources here. Not to mention, it's just a great place to be. We have a great economy, we value education, we value the outdoors. I feel so lucky to live where I do. Does everybody else feel the same way? I mean, I think that's normal, right? To love where you live, to feel grateful.
Now, I'm not one to give other people advice. All I know is what works for me. Right now I'm standing on top of Little Mount Tom, so I haven't made it to the top of Mount Tom yet, but I'm on my way. And climbing to this spot, where I am today, is so much easier than it was at the very beginning of the season. And it's all about those incremental improvements for me. I've changed my eating habits a little bit. I have become more active, way more fit. I know I don't look it, but I'm way more fit now than I was 6 months ago. Now, I stopped to take a breather at Little Mount Tom. I'm going to make it to the top of Big Mount Tom as well. But it's about those incremental steps along the way. For me, today, right here, is one of them. In the larger scope of my life, this weekend is one of them. Eventually, I'll get to where I'm going? Probably not, because it's a journey, not a destination. Made it to the top of Mount Tom, up at the very top of the observation tower. It's an amazing view from up here. And I think in the morning we're going to try and come and get some time lapse of the sunrise from the top of Mount Tom.
I have seen more people out hiking the trails today on a cloudy, chilly, 40-degree day at Sibley State Park than I have the entire season that I have been out camping and hiking. It's a little crazy, I think. I'm not sure if it's because Minnesotans are waiting for the leaves to change and for it to cool down and not be so humid, or if it's because Sibley State Park is just one of the more popular parks. I'm not sure exactly what I should attribute this to, but regardless, I'm really glad that there are so many people out here enjoying the beauty of Minnesota State Parks today. It's a great day to be out here, despite the chill in the air. I'm almost back to the campground, and I finally got him back to sleep. My husband is somewhere behind me, hopefully. There were a lot of hills up and down at the end, so he was going to take his time. Good walk though. Great walk. So Saturday afternoon, we're playing board games, the baby's finally napping. Life is freaking awesome.
Pretty sweet this weekend.
Yeah, it is. I know it's really, really dark, but that's because it's really early. We're doing something a little crazy today. It is freaking cold outside, and it's dark, and we have a baby. But, I mean, really, why wouldn't we get up to see the sunrise, right?
Well, especially when we have an opportunity like this.
Yeah, we have a fantastic opportunity today. We are at Sibley State Park, and there is a gigantic structure at the top of Mount Tom. Ooh, and we just pulled into the parking lot.
And we are the only
We're the only ones here to see the sunrise. So we're gonna park right here. We're gonna go set up our stuff, and we're gonna get some great images of the sunrise. I'm really excited. We have on all of our layers, and at least the baby has a winter coat, so he should stay warm. And we'll have to devise other methods to stay warm, I guess.
I guess.
We'll do jumping jacks or something. Look, right there. Do you see it?
Barely.
Is that the most glorious sunrise you have ever seen?
You know, it was worth getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning, you know, getting ready and bundling Thor up and getting here.
Yeah, we both have like 4 sweatshirts on.
Yeah.
All for that.
Right there.
Yeah. It was still pretty beautiful.
Yeah. It was an experience.
Right. I mean, we're here. Why wouldn't you?
Plus, this would be a fantastic spot the next time like a full moon rise happened and it was a clear night. Think how beautiful it'd be from right here.
Yeah, you said that before, but we live kind of far away.
We have a vehicle.
Yeah, so maybe the next time we want to come here, we should put that in our notes that we should only come when there's a full moon.
Or a glorious something happening, right? Good time to come out at night and grab some images of the Milky Way galaxy. That'd be
Ooh, or a meteor shower.
or that would be cool too. But otherwise, it's
It
sunrise.
was pretty. It's just cloudy today. That's all.
Yes.
Yeah, not the kind of thing that you can really predict, a couple months ahead of time when you are making the reservation. It's a little bit of a departure from my norm. Most of the time when we go camping, I get up really early one morning by myself, go for a walk, spend some time alone in the woods. This time that didn't quite happen. Both of us, actually all 3 of us, got up early this morning, went to the top of Mount Tom to watch the sunrise, which was pretty, but cloudy, so we didn't actually see the sun, although we did see some really pretty colors. But we went back. Dave and Thor promptly fell back asleep. I was not able to fall asleep, so I figured this would be the perfect time for me to get my solo walk in. So I'm gonna go hike a few miles all by my lonesome and enjoy the woods and be happy. I'm on the aptly named Pond View Trail. You know, it doesn't happen very often that I stumble onto things that I'm not quite sure of when I'm out for walks. But what in the world is a deer exclosure? I think I'm gonna have to go home and look that one up. I have no clue what it is, but obviously I have to go check it out, right? I mean, for science and all. So I see a big tall fence, presumably that a deer cannot jump over. Silly me. I thought I was gonna have to go home and look up what a deer exclosure is. What was I thinking? Of course, Minnesota State Parks has erected a sign to tell me exactly what a deer exclosure is and why it's here. They did that just so that I can tell you. So this deer exclosure right here serves the purpose of protecting the trees that are inside, and it kind of shows you the difference between what it looks like without deer interference, and this is what it looks like behind me here when deer are allowed free rein and can browse and eat everything in sight. When they're not able to eat everything in sight, the forest grows. So I guess they have a really big problem with deer over browsing and keeping the deer population in check here at the park. There aren't enough natural predators, so they have too many deer, and when there are too many deer, they keep the young trees from growing, and that's not good for forest health. All right. One of those things that I probably should have known, but I didn't know the exact details, and now I do. Good deal. Oh yeah? Who's gonna stop me? I'm such a rule breaker. Okay, not really, but I am gonna go this way. In all actuality, I think this sign is just for cross-country ski season. In that case, you definitely don't want people going the wrong way, but this time of year, when it's just hiking trails, going the wrong way, not a big deal. I just realized that I made a critical error. This morning, when we got up to go see the sunrise, it was pretty chilly out, and so I dressed in layers. I put leggings on and then jeans on top of it. Unfortunately, I forgot to remove the leggings or the jeans, one of them. So I'm walking around with 2 layers of pants. It's warmed up quite a bit. and I'm a few miles away from the campground. Now, I took off my sweatshirt to try and cool down, and that's pretty easy to take off and, you know, just tie around my waist. That does not work so well with jeans. Usually I'm much better at planning than this.
This is an audio test, an audio test, an audio test. This is an audio test because Tootsie Fruitsy audio isn't working on my phone. Is asleep in the truck, so we decided that we would just hop out quickly and get the sign. So here I am. There's Ann. There's the sign.
Now be sure to like, share, subscribe, and ring the bell.